I'm Jake Sosa. I drive a 1995 Mazda Miata with a turbo on it.
How'd you get into cars?
So that's a great story. My grandfather had a custom built Ford T-Bucket. Made like 700 horse. It was crazy. And then he had a 66 Nova. We'd always go to car shows every so often. I've always had a knack for cars. I've always had cars when I was little, like as toys and whatnot. And I'd read the bottom and just memorize what each car was. Well, by doing that, the time I was like 3 or 4 years old, I don't remember this, but apparently I'd be at the car shows with my granddad and naming all the cars that came in, and all the old guys that are there are like, who is this kid? So I've always had like an interest in cars. Growing up in like end of elementary school, early middle school, I got into watching Top Gear.
Okay.
On BBC. That was
like everyone.
Yeah, like everyone.
British Top Gear?
What was that?
British Top Gear?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
That's the only good one.
Yeah, you're right.
After watching Top Gear and really starting to learn more, I was like, all right, I want to do something with cars in my life. I love cars. I knew I was going to do something with them. I just didn't know what. So when I got into high school, they had the option for TCHS, Technical College High School, and they had an automotive program. So I joined in, and immediately I fit right in. I knew enough to get me started, but having that extra knowledge before going off to a trade school or a college really helped out. And I mean, my first car, it was a 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe.
Okay.
I rebuilt that entire car at school, and I learned how to do it along the way.
A Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yeah. And after that, after learning how to work with my hands, learning how to fix a car, I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do with my life. So I applied for a couple shops, got into an independent shop for the summer. It went great. Then school came back around in the fall, and I had to start working at McDonald's again.
Okay.
It was just more of a better schedule for me. Then I got a call from one of my mom's friends who worked at a dealership, a Dodge dealership. Said that they had an opening available and asked me if I'm interested. I took it and I started working there. That was good for about 8 months. Stuff happened, not really going to get into it. An opening occurred at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, and I took it, and that's where I am now. I've been there for just over a year.
Yeah. And you like it there?
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's funny because I would always have the toy cars and stuff when I was little, and if you go in our attic, there will be, I think, 8 or 9 big giant barrels full of like Hot Wheels and Matchboxes and stuff.
Yes.
And they're like 600 pounds. It's like, yeah.
Well, Hot Wheels right now are worth a ton of money.
Yeah, but they're all unpackaged, they're all scratched because they've all been sitting in a thing forever. But yeah, we could probably offload all of them for
a hefty price.
A hefty change, yeah.
Probably buy an actual car with the money you'd get from a Hot Wheels car. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So your grandfather got you into cars. That's really the person that got you into cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of runs in the family. My dad, his first car was a IROC Camaro.
Oh, okay.
An IROC 8. And he was in high school with that car, which is a bad idea to give a high school kid an IROC Camaro.
Hell yeah.
And he ended up building it for nitrous and started doing drag racing. And he actually got into a magazine with it.
This was his first car?
This was his first car, yeah. This was his daily driver.
And he built it as a race car?
Yes, it was his daily
like
driver.
You do.
Yeah.
Like you do.
And it did, I think it was high 10s. That back in the 90s, that's really good.
For those that don't know, that's really impressive.
So
in the 90s.
Back in the 90s, that's impressive numbers.
Very impressive.
And he drove it every day.
What then got you into older cars?
I've always had a thing for older cars. Older cars are just so much more fun.
They are. Any reason behind that?
Well, in this case, there's no safety equipment in this thing. There's no traction control. There's no ABS. There's no side curtain airbags. There's no like 5-star safety rating. It's a fun car, a fun 2-door little roadster that you're meant to have a great time in. That's it. You're not supposed to, in this car, you're not really supposed to think about safety. You're supposed to just think about having fun, having a blast, and driving a really good car. Nowadays, you can't really make cars like this anymore. You can't really make a true performance car. Yeah, you have your BMWs and your Audis and stuff, but they're still focused on safety, and they're all computer controlled. And at the end of the day, you're not in control of that car, the computer is. Old stuff like this, everything's cable operated. You're in control of everything. And that's something you don't really get anymore with newer cars.
So I know a lot of people name their cars. Do you have any names for your cars?
Yes, so there's a funny story behind that too. There's a YouTube channel called It's Just a Six. Big fan of that guy. Down in Louisiana, he really made a name for himself. He's very successful. He started out doing car stuff while in a small apartment in college, and then it took off, and he's a multimillionaire now. I mean, he's got companies, he's got a music deal, he's got everything. So one of his giveaway cars was a 1991 NA Miata with the pop-up lights, and the project was they're going to turbo it, make it look good, and give it away, which they did. And they named it Meep. That was our second Miata giveaway.
Meep.
Yes. Their first Miata giveaway was a second generation Miata with normal headlights. They named that one Beep. That was just like a easy, quick flip it and give it away. This Meep was like a full in-depth build. Took videos through everything, and I watched it, and I entered to win that car so many times. That was the time that those videos were really what got me into Miatas. That's my shtick. I love Miatas. They're fantastic.
Until I drove a Miata, they kind of have a stigma.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, it's a girl's car,
yeah.
Or like, oh, it's a hairdresser's car.
There's nothing. You cannot say it's not cute.
Oh, of course.
Because it is.
It's very cute.
It is.
It's a pretty car.
Yes.
And so before I drove one, I was like, they're just small. They're like a little roadster. They make no power, all that stuff. But as soon as you drive one, you realize
you
how
don't need
fun
all that
they
power.
are.
You don't need all that power.
No, you don't.
It does everything you want it to do.
It's a go-kart.
Yeah.
It's an adult go-kart.
Yes.
And they're really cool cars.
Yeah. So obviously I didn't win that one. That one's purple, and it actually I'm friends with the guy who did win it. I ended up joining the It's Just 6 Discord server, and turns out the guy who won Meep, Andrew is his name. He was one of the admins or whatever, and got to talking. I bought my first Miata. I shouldn't have bought that one. That one was a hoopty. It ended up burning down. Whatever.
Jeez. So I guess you lucked out a little bit.
Yeah, I sold that, or what was left of it. I was looking for another one. Closest one that I wanted was in Denver, Colorado. I wasn't going to go to Denver for a Miata.
That's pretty far.
Then I found this one in Telford, PA. This had everything I was going to do to my other Miata.
Okay.
Full suspension, turbo kit, roll bar, no rust. This one had no rust. The other one was bad.
It has a hard top.
Yeah, it has the hard top. It has nice wheels and tires. It's not a hoopty.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid car. So I got this, and I've been in love since then. But yeah, I started talking with Andrew, the owner of Meep. I was like, all right, what should I look for? What should I do? I have a turbo Miata now. What should I look forward to? He goes, look forward to breaking a lot of parts. And sure enough, the rear end blew out, the transmission blew, but that's because they weren't rated for the power I was making.
Yeah.
Happens. It's all fixed now.
So you've upgraded.
Yeah. That's the other thing with cars. If you have an old car or like a performance car, you're going to break stuff.
Yep, it's very fair.
And if you're into fixing your own cars, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun repairing what you break. You gives you a different appreciation of owning a car. If you break it, you get to fix it. A lot of newer cars, like Teslas especially, you can't fix them yourself. Working on Mercedes-Benz vehicles, everything is so complicated for no reason.
That's fair. Well, it's very dealer-oriented.
Yeah.
They wanted to take it to the dealer. They specialized dealer tools. And all that stuff. It's
the software. The software to read the computer codes is $30,000. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Everything's going further and further away from like
Independent
the average
shops
guy in his,
or
in his
DIYers,
garage that just wants to, you know, tinker on his car and like work on it. Like
that's the other thing. Older cars, you'll always be able to tinker on them. There's always people online to help you figure out a problem.
Yep.
There's always parts available. Like for these, I can get parts forever on this thing, and they're cheap, relatively. I mean, this thing will never die.
what are your future plans with this car then? So you said, I remember you told me before that you're going to keep this thing forever.
Yes,
that's your plan.
I'm not getting rid of this car. This has been my dream since before I could drive.
That's fair. So what is your plans with it? Your future goals?
So right now, I just put in a 6-speed transmission. The 5-speed I broke because it's not rated for the power I'm pushing. These ones are good for about 400 horsepower. The rear end blew out, same reason. It's good for about 600. The next thing to go is going to be the engine. So my plan is to buy another engine block, bring it to a machine shop, have them do all the work to it, bore it out a little bit, make it a bit bigger, from a 1.8 liter to a 2 liter. Pistons, rods, upgraded cylinder head, probably port and polish it.
Okay.
It's going to be a full build. So I mean, I'm going to do valves, cams, cam gears. The turbo that's on here is efficient until 30 pounds of boost. I'm probably going to, at the end of it, all this, push around 25 to 28 pounds. My goal is 400 wheel. I'm making 225 now.
Wow. 400 wheel horsepower.
In a car that weighs 2,200 pounds. This was the year before they added the tilt adjustable steering wheel. So with the stock steering wheel, I couldn't fit my legs underneath the wheel. So I had to get a spacer and a quick disconnect wheel with a deep dish to fit my legs under it so I could shift the car.
So if you could own any car, no matter the value, it doesn't matter how much it costs, reliability does not matter. If you could own any car, but only one car, what would it be?
I already have it.
This car right here?
Yeah.
For all the things that you said.
All the things I said, yeah.
This would be your dream car. This is your dream car.
Yeah, 100%. I have not been happier since I've gotten it. This is a lot of non-car people don't understand what cars or how much cars mean to us. Driving this car or driving in general is my therapy. I don't go see a therapist because, in my opinion, I think it's just a waste of time and money. And as a guy, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to be blunt about it, but that's just how it is. No one cares.
Yeah.
So rather than talk to someone who's paid to care, throw on some good music, rip some back roads in this thing, and drive for as long as I feel necessary. I mean, it's not uncommon I'm out in this thing every night. I'm filling up this tank every day. It's not uncommon for me to be out from about 7:30 at night to 1 a.m. in the morning just driving because it's fun. I love it. And it keeps me sane.
You and me both, man. Like
it keeps me sane.
It's very therapeutic.
A lot of people also ask me why I keep dumping so much money into an old car like this or in my Jeep, just to keep it running or whatever in case something goes wrong. I will fix everything that breaks on these cars because every time I'm broken, these cars fix me.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that. That's pretty good. I think, honestly, that's all the questions I have.
Alrighty.
I think. Thank you, sir.
No problem.